Evil Xisuma is arguably the cruelest villain of Hermitcraft, one of the most well-known Minecraft servers. He attempted to destroy it multiple times and killed its members and just did harm to it in general. If you watch the series, you probably know him, but what is the true identity of EvilX? And now you're probably thinking,
everyone knows that, and I know it. It's obvious from his name. He is just Xisumavoid,
one of the members,
pretending to be evil.
But what if I told you he isn't? To understand who Evil Xisuma really is, we must first investigate the past, specifically his important appearances in the Hermitcraft series. EvilX first appeared in Xisuma's episode 350 back in Hermitcraft Season 3. The appearance happens in the beginning of the episode 350 when Xisuma tries to kill himself in a killing machine at spawn, but instead he gets shot by EvilX.
No, not again.
After this, Xisuma does the intro once again like nothing happened, but he says he feels odd and blacked out earlier. However, it gets even stranger from here because he doesn't repeat the intro once, neither twice, but 4 times. Every time he starts the episode over, he decides to prank a different hermit. In his mind, the pranks are improvements to their bases, but they are actually rather destructive. In the end, it turns out Evil Xisuma casted a spell on X, which made him do all these things. EvilX also summons ender dragons into the world in an attempt to destroy it. In the episode 450, Xisuma tries to build another killing machine. This one is supposed to provide him with the fastest method of killing himself, but as it turns out, it's only a trick by EvilX, who gets back on the server thanks to this machine. He proceeds to kill Xisuma in countless ways. After the great slaughter, Evil Xisuma, with the help of his minions, blow up basically the whole server. They even manage to crash it, so hermits can't join. But once again, Xisuma fixes everything. Evil Xisuma gets back onto the Hermitcraft server in episode 500 this time. It is season 4. He summons in evil beings called the Withermen to help him destroy the server. However, these Withermen are creatures so evil, even Evil Xisuma can't control them, and soon they turn against him. He runs away from them and finds Xisuma, and together they get rid of them. But a big part of the server got ruined by these Withermen and needs fixing. So EvilX, to gain the trust of Xisuma, starts repairing the damage together with his minions, except they make it even worse. In the end, Evil Xisuma makes trap for his non-evil counterpart. It is no ordinary trap, as it is impossible to escape it until the episode 666. However, Evil Xisuma makes derp and traps himself in the trap instead of Xisuma, and so he can't appear in the series for another 165 episodes. The grand return of EvilX happens in the episode 666. He had a long time to prepare since he was banned for over 100 episodes. He escapes his world using an evil portal he created during the long wait, which brings him to the world of Season 5. EvilX meets Xisuma and lures him into the portal. It doesn't go back to EvilX's dimension, as one might think, and it traps Xisuma in another game. This game is a weird mix of Doom and Minecraft. At first it is confusing for Xisuma, but soon he learns how to traverse this odd world. Evil planned it so X would be trapped in this strange game forever. At the start, it seems to be working, as Xisuma is moved to a slightly different mix of Doom and Minecraft when he dies. However, Evil's trap doesn't function for too long, and when Xisuma finishes the level, he is sent back to Hermitcraft. But X desires to get back to this mixed game. Let's call it Doomcraft. And with the help of this dude that is some kinda spiritual randog in the sky, he manages to do so. It is time for the final boss of Doomcraft, who is none other than Evil Xisuma. After a bit of struggle, Xisuma successfully kills the boss which teleports him back to Hermitcraft again. In the world of Hermitcraft, it all seems just like a dream, until EvilX falls from the sky. He claims that X killing him in Doomcraft cured him from his evilness, and now he's good and no longer evil. And so they become friends forever. Or do they? After we haven't seen him for a while, EvilX makes his return in Season 8 in the episode 1006. However, this time he didn't come to the server to destroy it. He came to exploit it and become
the richest hermit the Hermitcraft server has ever seen.
And there's all the shenanigans with Derpcoin, Evil Emporium, all that good stuff. And Season 8 is the current season, so go watch it. And we'll all see what EvilX has planned for us for this season. Okay, so now we've gone through all the info you can get if you watch all the EvilX related Hermitcraft videos. But we need to go deeper. So using my hacking skills...
You can't even use commands in Minecraft. How do you have any hacking?
Shut up! As I was saying, using my hacking skills, I found out so much more. Let's start with this. If I asked you, did EvilX affect Season 7? You'd probably think,
No, he didn't even appear in Season 7. I watched all the episodes.
that's where you're wrong. Do you remember who started the Mycelium resistance? It was Grian, right? But who made him start it? EvilX. You don't believe me? Look at this conversation between G and Evil. And you probably also didn't catch Grian's glint in the eyes when he started the resistance. Did you find that interesting? If you did, then sit on the edge, because now we're gonna get into the really intriguing stuff, to revealing Evil Xisuma's true identity. You might think that he's just Xisuma pretending to be EvilX, but that's just not true. Let's get into the evidence. As you can see here, and here, and basically in all the footage from the appearances of EvilX, we can see him and X moving simultaneously. It's nearly impossible for one person to control two characters at once, and obvious question rises. Who is EvilX if not Xisuma? So far we know Xisuma and Evil Xisuma aren't the same person, but they are very similar. Their skins are similar, they sound almost identical if we tone their voices a little bit.
My evil plan! My evil laughter!
EvilX, I believe in forgiveness.
They might be relatives.
Yes, you're right, but they are not just any relatives. They are twins. You heard me right? They are twins. I know, this may sound weird, but listen, okay? There's proof. I've hacked the English Institute of Birth Certificates and found this. It clearly states that they have the same parents and were born the same day. Therefore, that's making them twins. And there's even more. When Xisuma showed his setup, it seemed like a normal setup video, but if you look closely at this exact frame, you can see these two pictures that clearly show X and EvilX happily together. So now I've proven that I used to live in a loving relationship. However, as we all know, this wouldn't stay the same forever. So when exactly did EvilX become hostile towards Xisuma? And why? And this is the unsolved mystery of Evil Xisuma.